the Moza FMP18 panel bundle. I want to say thanks so much for Moza sending me this, and if you're interested, use the link down below. This is seriously one of the coolest pieces of hardware I've had to review this year. After being a DCS nut for about 12 years, I've always wanted one of these panels, and now here it is. So we're going to be taking a look at this, how to set it up, both hardware and software, and talk about my thoughts. Let's get into it. Well, it seems like I lost a lot of my unboxing footage. However, I did salvage this part. I do mention in this part that I don't like that it says Moza on the front of the UFC. It would have much rather been nicer to just have that blank and maybe put it on the back, as it does kind of take away from the realistic aspect, in my opinion. For now, let's take a look at the UFC portion. This is the bottom half and the top half. So let's look at the top first. You, as I said, have the Moza logo there. You have the go no go lights there. Don't know if those are a model, but we'll see. You do have a brightness. This clicks. It doesn't seem like it scrolls, but it does click in. Nice button presses. Every switch does exactly what it's supposed to do. For example, the radio knobs can be pulled and twisted, just like the real one. Down here, your heading and course knobs only go left and right, and it's a spring, just like the real one, not up and down. That's how it is in the real F-18, at least from DCS. Tons of mounting screws. Moza on the back. See, that's fine. You can put Moza on the back just fine. When you put it on the front, is where it kind of ruins the look a little bit, in my opinion. Manual that's provided is very nice as well. That's what I'm using. I will remove this tape or this protective seal, but just for right now, in the video sense, we're just gonna line up these holes with these pegs on the bezel. There you go, that's number 2. And lastly, probably shouldn't stack them, but I'm gonna stack them. The bezel's on this side. Turn this way, or the buttons are on that side, sorry. And that's it. They are now connected. Very, very simple. Now, obviously, I'm going to take them off and peel off the sticker, but I'm going to leave the sticker to last so I don't smudge the screen up. Okay, this is what's in the rest of the box. Looks like we have some USB-Cs with USB. We got some Allen keys and things. This one came out of the bag, but it came with it. We have 4 USB to USB, so 4 of those. I'm assuming they all interconnect, and then we just connect hopefully one just to the PC or 2 or something like that. That'd be very nice. These are all the cables that come with it. We'll put those to the side. And then we get all these brackets and things. So I'm going to be using the manual and figuring out how to put this all together for you. Well, the manual is very good, but basically what you're going to do is you make these brackets almost like a tooth. Take your screws and you do 2 screws into each one on the UFC, and then 2 screws onto your connecting screen as shown just like this. And for you wondering, yes, I got a haircut. Okay, now we got the 2 brackets on. We're going to put our third one, which goes down here, and then we're going to attach the screens. So these are the screws that are used to go in these sides here. I'm gonna have to adjust this a little bit. It's a little hard to find which one. They kind of just give you a pile of screws. It'd be nice if they separated them. Each one I'd have to use in different purposes. All right, those are the 2 screens. Time to do the center one. Found the best way to do this is hang it off a table and make sure the Moza label is read through that little window there. You're gonna grab a screw, 4 screws to put in, and then you're all good to go in terms of the screens. Then we gotta do the desk mount, and the hard part is finding somewhere to plug all this stuff into. Not a hard process, it's just a bit of a longer one. Just take your time and you'll be able to get it. So now we have it all screwed in. We'll flip it over, and now you can see what a beauty it really is. Okay, so now we go over to step 3, the desk clamp. This time it's going to be the flatter type screw, and it's going to go one in here, top, bottom, and left. I'm going to get these off camera and I'll bring you back. All right, I went ahead and flipped it over again. You can see that this is our mount. These 4 screws right here, your basic VESA mount really. And you're just going to plug in the 4 screws on the side and you'll be good to go. Well, there you go, guys. It's all put together. It looks absolutely fantastic. All that's left to do is to get the desk mount on, plugged into the computer, and it should be a plug and play scenario. Once it's all ready to go, I'll take the removable panels off and take off the plastic as well. Now, while it looks absolutely fantastic on a desk clamp setup, you do run into one problem, and that's mounting a center stick, which is pretty much impossible on a desk. So that is why I partnered up with Next Level Racing, and they went ahead and gave me their Flight Sim Pro stand and their Flight Sim Pro seat. Now I can do a center stick mount with a throttle on the left and the center mounted Moza UFC. This isn't the only solution to get this type of setup, but the Next Level Racing seat is a very easy one to do. If you guys want more on that, there will be a review on it coming out shortly. Use code CFI at Next Level Racing, and you can get a discount as well. Well, guys, if you already own Moza hardware, then this should be pretty simple for you. You're going to need the Moza cockpit software, as you guys know. You're going to want to go ahead and click this little arrow, check for updates. And what I'd also do is open the firmware manager and just press update all so it can do everything. Next, what I highly recommend doing is pressing this home button, going over to DCS, click the little, just above it to the right, click config, keybind manager, select DCS world, select your F-18 panel, and you're going to press this and press apply, and you're going to do this for each panel. So that's going to pre-map all your buttons and switches. You don't have to custom map them in DCS, only for the Hornet, unfortunately. The rest of them maybe will come later, but I'm not sure. Now, I found when I did do this, some axes were inverted, so you'll just have to go in the settings of adjust controls and just re-invert them. Okay, then in panel settings here, these are the way I have my light settings set up. You're going to want to make sure you calibrate all your axes as well. So you would do this, calibrate both this axis, which is the top center one, and the UFC axes. Over here on screen settings, you're going to make sure you have the automatic game resolution, borderless window compatibility. I have that clicked because I do not play in full screen. I play technically in borderless windows. I'm using a single screen for DCS. My main DCS screen is 16, which is this giant one here. Then I have these three MFCDs clicked as my MFCDs. And lastly, I have another monitor, but I have it unclicked. Notice if I click it, it adds it to the DCS resolution. I don't want that. I want this to be DCS, and this is just to be for reading chat or doing anything I want on Discord on my other monitor. So this is how I have this set up. If you have different monitors set up, only highlight the ones you have in DCS, and that's it. Next, over here, you can show each ID of your screen. Just make sure the right is set to the right, left set to the left, and center is set to the center with the IDs. It's pretty simple. You can also configure it for a center screen only, lefts and rights for the Viper, or all sorts of different stuff. So you can set all your stuff up the way you like there. We'll leave it in the default 3-way configuration for now. And as you can see, I'm set to A10C, and it's saying the left is going to be number 10 and the right's going to be number 9. But for the Hornet, it'll look just like this. And obviously, you're just going to make sure that left is set to left, right is set to right, and center set to center. That's it. You can hop into the sim. Now that the sim is opened up, before we get into it, I want to make sure you guys press settings and go to your resolution here. And I want you to go all the way to the top. And this has automatically chosen the resolution for me that Moza's detected of what I wanted. So leave that alone. And monitors, you want to make sure it's set to Moza flight panels. If you don't have that clicked, it will not work. And now you're free to start your game. So now we'll get into gameplay. Well, first off, I want to say the buttons feel really good. I can't tell you if it feels like a real F-18 as I don't fly the F-18, but they feel good. They feel solid. Every press is easy to hit and you know what you're pressing. Next, I'd like to say that this is for an enthusiast of DCS. This is not for your regular, everyday, just downloaded DCS or plays maybe once a week. This is if you have a dedicated sim setup and you want to enhance that setup, you're going to want to buy this panel. I'm hunting the rest of this SA10. I'll give you my thoughts on it. For the price point of 800 and roughly 40 US dollars, you get a pretty complete panel that does fit on a desk. However, I recommend getting a dedicated seat for it for the center mounting as we've discussed. The buttons feel great. It's plug and play, and it's very simple to just use if you're already used to the Hornet. It also works for other aircraft as well, like the A-10 and other things with screens. You can configure that all with the Moza software. Now, competition-wise, there is, of course, the Wing Control, and they just released their brand new Top Gun MIP2 which is a little cheaper and, in my opinion, has slightly better buttons. But it's up to you to decide which one you'd like to choose. They both do the same thing and they do very well. We will have a comparison for those two coming up shortly as well. Last thing I really briefly want to talk about is VR users. I'm a big VR player. I rarely play in 2D, and I have to get used now to where all my hands are supposed to go if I'm using this thing. Someone recommended putting little sticky tab buttons on the centers of each screen, and that way I can kind of feel my way around a little bit. That might be a good idea if you're a VR player like myself. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. The panel is great. The price point I think is pretty spot on. Plug and play. And if you have the setup for it and the time to set it up, I think you'll really enjoy this. Again, guys, use the link down in the description. Really appreciate you guys watching. See you in the next one.